Hello, it's Gilly here from funcraftstodoathome.com, and today we're going to be making these gorgeous pendants from recycled card, tin and some tin foil. So you're going to need an empty cereal box, some tin foil and an empty soda can. You will also need a 2-inch square punch, a 1-inch round punch, some white glue, I'm using Mod Podge, some tacky glue, and some alcohol inks, my favourite. You're definitely going to need some rubber gloves and a glue brush. You're also going to need some double-sided tape, some strong double-sided tape, and an embossing machine. I'm using the Big Shot, but any embossing machine will do. You're also going to need a couple of pretty decorative embossing folders and some jump rings and split rings, although you'll see at the end of the video I didn't have much luck with mine. I used this rolled 1mm elastic. You'll also need a brayer for flattening the foil, and definitely going to need some safety gloves for when you cut the drink can. So first of all, take your square punch and punch out 4 squares from the cereal box card. And you see in the light here that this cereal box card's got a bit of a sheen on there. So I find it's easier to stick them together if I sand that sheen off. You don't have to do this, but I just find it's easier to glue them together if they're a bit rough, like that. And once you've done that, you need to take your white glue and stick them all together. Only put very, very thin layers on. You don't need loads of glue so that they slide against each other. You just need enough so that they're nice and tacky and they're gonna get a good adhesion there. So glue them all together, all 4. And now you need to cut the beer can so that you can, the ginger beer can. Put your safety gloves on because this tin can be quite vicious. Poke a hole, as I've done here, and just cut round. And then when you've cut it all off, as I've done here, I've neatened it all up so that the edges are not all jaggedy anymore. Then I cut mine in half. So these are the embossing folders that I've used. First, this flowery one. So make sure that you put the tin in there so that the embossing comes out on the plain side, and just put that through your Big Shot or your Cuttlebug or whatever you use. And this is what you will get. Tin embosses very, very well in these machines. So here's my second choice. Just make sure you get your tin positioned with the design exactly where you want it to emboss. And there we have design number 2. So that's what you have now, your embossed tin and your pendant base. So now it's time to colour the tin foil. So give that a good scrunch. Be careful that you don't tear the foil. Give it a good scrunch. And then you flatten it out with the brayer. To get that lovely crazed look. Then just cut it up neatly into squares. I'm actually making 3 pendants here, so I have cut 3 squares. And the next thing to do is colour those squares. I use an old tinfoil pan. I've put an extra piece of tinfoil in the bottom so that the colours that are already on there are not too distracting. So I'm using Lemonade, Botanicals and Mermaid here, my first 3 colours. So just drip it onto the scrunched up tinfoil. Use whatever colours you want and just... Oh, I'd forgotten the rubber gloves. And consequently, I got loads of ink on my hands, as you will see in the shots that come. So that's what it looks like when you finish putting the ink on. Very effective. So I did 3 altogether, and you put them on a piece of kitchen towel and let them dry thoroughly. The next thing you're going to do is stick your pendant squares onto the unpainted side of the tinfoil squares. And you need tacky glue for this to make sure that they do stick. And let them dry thoroughly. I recommend overnight, really. So the next thing to do is to cut those corners off. See how pretty that is? It's gorgeous. Lovely raspberry colour there. Okay, so just take a pair of scissors and just roughly cut the corners off. Don't go all the way up to the card. Just cut them off. And then we're going to put glue on the bits that are left. Make sure that you get plenty of glue on the actual sides of the cardboard, because that's really where you want it to stick. And then fold them over and press them down very firmly. Don't worry too much if all of the back is not covered, because we are going to be covering the back up. And let them dry thoroughly. There's my 3. So I have let them dry now. Next we're going to cut the tin foil. We're going to cut one circle to go on the front and a square to cover up the back. And of course, you know, these pendants are reversible. Both sides look really pretty. So once we've cut the tin foil that's going to go on the front and back of the pendant, we are going to colour the the tin from the drink cans. We're going to colour those embossed designs with some more alcohol ink. And that 2-inch punch is 2 inches from corner to corner, not side to side. So it's not 2 inches round, it's corner to corner. So take your circular punch and your square punch and punch out whatever designs you want. Position them where you want your design to come out. And this tin from the soda cans or drink cans, if you're in the UK, cuts very, very easily in these craft punches and helps to keep them sharp as well. So we're ready now to put some alcohol ink on there, and you see what happens when the ink runs around the raised up areas. And you must let these dry thoroughly. I'm just tipping this to let some of the excess ink run off. And it's quite nice actually if you can see some of the silver coming through. Just put a bit more yellow on there to disperse that green. And blue, more blue. And they're ready. I'm going to let them dry now. So here's the dried circle, and I've put 2 strips of double-sided tape on the back. I'm now going to take a pair of scissors and cut round the excess double-sided tape. And remove the backing. And that's ready now to stick onto your pendant base. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the back. That's going to cover up any gaps that there are in the where we stuck the tin foil down. So a couple more strips on with double-sided tape onto the back of that and trim that off. So all we need to do now is take the crocodile tool and make a nice neat hole in there. Now I was going to put jump rings in mine and attach my necklace via a jump ring and a split ring, but unfortunately I didn't have any jump rings that were big enough. Mine were way too small, as you will see in a moment. I tried to put one on the pink one on the end, and I ended up just putting 1mm elastic on all of them. See, that jump ring's not big enough. So this is what I did instead. And I actually I like the kind of bohemian look of just having elastic tied in a knot. So there you have it. That's how you make some very pretty pendants from empty drink cans, cereal box card, and a bit of tin foil. Very effective. And you can wear them whichever way around you want. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.